I had a vertical sleeve done, where basically they take your stomach and they cut it into a size of like a banana. This wasn't something that just happened overnight, true, but this is something that's been kind of building up for the past, I want to say, 3 years. Um, and I have been going back and forth with the decision to have it for the past 3 years. Like, literally, it's been 3 years. I first went to the orientation class 2015, and that's actually the first time I did share, on my story about it, on my IG about it, about me considering to have the surgery. And then I just decided not to go through with it. I just went to the orientation. They told me all the stuff you couldn't do, and I was just like, I'll just do it myself, and I did. Fast forward to 2006, a year later, 2016. So a year later, after I first thought I wanted to do it. Fast forward to that time, and I went back. Of course, at my hospital, if you go through the orientation and decide not to do it, and a year has lapsed, then you have to go through orientation again. So boom. If a year has lapsed and you haven't done any of the requirements to have it, then boom, you have to go to orientation again. So 2016, I went to orientation. I was like, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm really gonna do it this time. So there's these 4 classes you have to go to in order to get it done. So I went to the 4 classes. No, excuse me. I went to three classes. I went to 3 of the classes, and then I don't know what happened. I just stopped going. I decided I didn't want to do it. That was it. Fast forward to May 2017. I had already been to orientation, so because I came back before my orientation lapsed, I didn't have to go back to orientation. So I hadn't been to orientation since last year, but because I came back, I didn't have to go back to orientation. But I did have some extra classes that I had to take in order for me to be considered for it. So we're in May. I took the classes, finished the classes, spoke with my psychiatrist, spoke with the surgeon, and they told me that I had to lose, I think, like 15 pounds or something. It wasn't anything, too crucial. It's like 15 pounds. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. And then I literally just decided I didn't want to do it. That was 2017 May. Around 2017, around, I want to say around July, it started to get really dark for me. So if anybody knows or follows me on IG, I have expressed and been open about me suffering from depression for as long as I can remember. I've suffered from depression since I was, in middle school, and it comes and goes, but sometimes when it comes, it's a lot deeper than before. Around July 2017, I got really dark. I got really, really dark. Just everything, just life was just dark. It didn't seem like nothing was worth living for. Nothing was, happy. Nothing made me feel happy. It was hard to be honest, it was hard to feel any type of emotion. Like, I was just mute. I was just stuck. Nothing really made me laugh. Nothing really made me happy, sad. I was just like, I didn't really care about anything. And so in August, the 1st of August, 2017, I attempted to kill myself. And didn't work. I don't want to go into too much detail about what I did or whatever, but I attempted to end my life and it didn't work. And so since it didn't work, the next day I called my doctor, my regular physician, and I made an emergency appointment. She saw me the same day, and I came in and I said, I tried to end my life, but it didn't work. So what do I do now? So she was like, well, I'll put you into our IP program, intensive patient program or something like that. And it's basically a program for, people that have, intense emotions or issues that they need to work out in a group setting. And she put me in that program. She took me off of work for 2 months. And I spent, from August to September, I spent that time trying to find myself and find peace within myself and find love within myself again, and just be a better person for myself. And going to her office that day after was the best decision for me because it gave me a new outlook on life. It basically made it feel like it was a start over. It was like a restart. So I got my life back on track. I felt good about my life. So I was like, let's try this surgery again. So I go in and I see my psychiatrist, part of that department. There's different psychiatrists for different departments and different, buildings and different programs. So for the bariatric program, I went to go see the psychiatrist. I scheduled an appointment with him. The morning of the appointment, he called me and was like, I can't see you. And I was like, well, why? He's like, well, I was going through your files and saw that about 2 months ago you attempted to kill yourself. So there's no way that they're going to allow you to have surgery. And I was just like, what? What do you mean? He's like, they feel like surgery is a very stressful, thing to put on a person, and they feel like just psychologically, a person that has went through an ordeal like that wouldn't be capable of going through the mental strains of having surgery. So he said, unfortunately, I won't be able to see you today, and unfortunately, you have to wait a whole year before you attempt to have surgery again. And it was funny because the me before would have broke down and been like, well, fuck all the shit, like, fuck it, whatever, I'm done. But that me was like, okay. And he was like, he told me keep going, forward, keep working out. And I was like, okay. So instead of me feeling sorry for myself or feeling like, well, why? Woe is me, why me is always something. I was just like, okay, well, I can't do that, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna keep pushing forward and try the best that I can. It was right before my birthday. My psychiatrist hit me. He was like, hey, I want to know how you're doing. How's everything going? Are you still interested in the surgery? And I was just like, I'm doing this myself. I'm not even, whatever. He's like, you're still, all your requirements are done. As long as you're still losing weight, you can still have it. And I can even, talk to the surgeon, the head surgeon of the department. He might be able to expedite your surgery for you, instead of you having to wait till August if you really wanted to do it now. After my, psych evaluation, we could, expedite it for you if that's what you're worried about. Like, he was just really, reaching out to me because he knows how devastating that was to me, not to be able to do it when I was trying to. But I just kind of ignored him. And then I got to a point where I kept thinking back to times where I never really follow through with stuff. Like, stuff that I want to do, I allow fear or other people's opinions about it, or just any excuse to not do what I want to do. And I think I was just having a really bad couple of weeks with my weight loss and being motivated and trying to find, some meaning in it all. Nothing dark, but just, just tired. And I emailed my doctor, my psychiatrist from the bariatric department. I think it was like at the beginning of August. I hit him up like, hey, I think I'm ready for my psych, evaluation. And went to see him. He was like, you're fine. Like, everything's good. Love your attitude. Love what you've been doing since then. You've lost so much weight since then. Let's go. Sent me to the, like, literally, I would say it was like mid-August. After, like, I saw him in, like, I want to say the second week of August. Like, second week of August, I saw him. The third week of August, I took my class. And then I had my surgery the second week of September. So that's how fast it went. But because I've been doing this process for the past 3 years, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to have it, and then I don't. Oh, I'm going to have it. Oh, but you can't. And it literally took a month to have it after I literally made up my mind and said I'm going to do this.